Muncher for the Commodore 64, and Beam Software, in conjunction with Gremlin Graphics, decided to base a game around a wacky advertisement for Chewits, and even managed to persuade Chewits to endorse it at the time. We all remember which Chewits advert I'm talking about, right? You know, the one with an angry green monster who's running amok in a cardboard version of London. Watching this is very nostalgic in itself. Just when he's about to sink his teeth into a famous landmark, he suddenly spies a Chewit, pops it into his cavernous cake hole, and finds his ravenous appetite suddenly satiated. After all, Chewits are chewier than a 20-story building. Wait a minute, why does it say monster on the title screen, and where's the reference to Chewits gone? Anyway, in the game, the Muncher stands there looking pretty gauntless, while small men with guns, tanks, armoured vehicles and helicopters take potshots at him, seriously depleting his supply of energy. The ever-versatile joystick gives the Muncher a wide range of counter-attack options, but I must stress, it's clunky, and straight away has absolutely nothing to do with Chewits. You can reduce tall buildings to a pile of rubble with a few well-aimed tail swipes, and having thus reduced the buildings to scalable proportions, you can then leap them in a single bound, as they say, or start climbing up the walls. Yep, rather than tackle the subject head-on and cast the player as a Chewit, those devious Beam people decided on an alternative approach and have put you firmly into the size 237 boots of the Godzilla-like monster. If you still had your Commodore 64 back in 1992, you may have even first discovered this game with issue 27 of Commodore format. I love those cover tapes. The mission of Mayhem begins at the seashore. Soldiers immediately start walking from both sides of the screen and shoot at the monster, knocking a chunk off his energy bar with every hit. However, these weak and puny humans are no match for the monster, who can leap on them, splattering them into horrible smears on the road. So what's the whole purpose of the game? Well, you have to search for lost eggs which have been scattered around the cities of Japan. An unhatched egg is shown in red in the status area. If your monster dies, it will always be brought back to the last egg hatched location. It is important, therefore, for you to pick up eggs and plant them in strategic nuclear waste locations for hatching. Pick up an egg as you would to eat something by pressing down and fire. To hatch an egg, just crouch near a nuclear waste location and these hatched eggs will show up as green in the status area. Yep, doesn't get more random than that. Chomp, chew, and all that stuff. I loved Rampage on the Commodore 64, so naturally I was assuming this would be a similar sort of game. It's only a one-player game though, and the graphics are about 10 times the size. And to be honest, it's nowhere near as good, I'm afraid. You literally just clunkily smash lots of buildings up and eat people. If you haven't already checked out the video for Rampage, then do be sure to have a gander at that too. In fact, there were so many games on the Commodore 64 relating to those oversized monsters, most of which have already been added to the channel. Along with the smash and crash sound effects and the little squeaks from the people being devoured, all these qualities combine to make the Muncher a violent lesson in destruction. You can jump on them from a great height, scoop them up for a tasty snack, breathe fireballs at them, or, if you're not in the mood for it, simply run away. Airborne things can be brought down with fireballs, or, for a bit of extra excitement, you can jump up in the air and sink your teeth into them. Buildings are encountered frequently, and can be bashed with your monster's tail, or climbed and thumped, Rampage-style. I suppose if you was feeling particularly tough, you could climb to the rooftops of a particularly high building and roar derision at the piffling humans below. There are loads of stages in the game, such as the beach, Nintendo Park, the army base, amongst many others, which are completed by getting from one end of the scrolling landscape to the other, without dying in between. Things get more difficult the further you progress. And if you manage to reach the end, you get to fight it out with another random yet ugly looking prehistoric beast in true King Kong vs Godzilla style. This game will get repetitive after a while, and like I mentioned, is very clunky, but still okay for a quick play session if you've never tried it before. Give it a whirl on your Commodore 64 and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching guys, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and let me know your experiences with the Muncher in the comment section. As always, your continued support is massively appreciated, and for those new to the channel, please consider subscribing and continuing with me on this epic journey, revisiting these games for our beloved Commodore 64. Check out the playlist for more games you might remember, and hopefully, I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, bye for now.